get there.
Philippians 4.
Philippians 4, verse 13.
No. He's got to learn.
All right. If you don't have it yet, just look at your neighbors. Philippians 4 and 13. Needs you read that for us good and loud. Loud. I can do all things. Somebody say all.
Oh.
I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. Or in other words, Jesus that gives me strength. That is a very positive statement by the Apostle Paul. He says, I can do. Now, I'm going to say that, and I want you to say it after me. I can do.
I can do.
I can do.
I can do.
Loud. I can do.
I can do.
It is very important that we control our attitude. Our attitude has a lot to do with how we feel on a day-to-day basis. If you have a poor attitude, you will not feel well. If you have a defeated attitude, if you have a depressed attitude, you will live your life defeated and depressed. But on the flip side of that, if you have a positive attitude and you realize that you can do all things through Jesus that gives you strength, then your life will improve. If you feel like that you are miserable, if you're a miserable person, you feel like things just don't work out for you, you need to change your attitude. This is why. Oftentimes you cannot change your circumstances. You cannot change what's going on in your life, but you can change how you respond to what's going on in your life. Many things are out of our control, but Brother Kevin, our attitude is not out of our control. No one can control your attitude except you. Now turn around to somebody, and I want you to tell them what I just told you. No one can control your attitude except you. Go ahead, turn around and tell somebody.
No one can control your attitude.
Your mama cannot control your attitude. Your boyfriend cannot control your attitude. Your girlfriend cannot control your attitude. Your aunt and your uncle cannot control your attitude. You are in charge of your attitude. You cannot change your circumstances in some cases, but you can always change your attitude. Now tell that same person, you can always change your attitude.
You can always change your attitude.
Oftentimes you want to change the circumstance, and this is what we do. If I'm unable to change my circumstance that I don't like, then I get miserable and I pout and I whine and I cry over my circumstance when there's nothing I can do about it. But I'll change my attitude. That is the way that I respond to my circumstance, and I can uplift my own spirit through changing my attitude. The Apostle Paul said, I can do. He found himself many times in certain situations that he had to lift himself up. The Bible teaches that King David went back to Ziklag one day, and when he got there, the town was destroyed and had been burnt, and people's wives and kids had been carried away. And I mean, David was for sure, the people were ready to kill him, and David, he was just down in the dumps because his circumstances were terrible. But the Bible says that David said that he then encouraged himself. Sometimes you're waiting on somebody else to encourage you when you need to have a positive attitude and encourage yourself. Change the way you think. Sister Deidre here at the church says it like this: you have to change your stinking thinking. If your thinking is stinking, then change it. Because it will drag you down, and you'll be at the end of, you'll go home tonight, and you'll get ready to go to bed, and you'll be like, oh, I just had a terrible day. Nothing went right today. And, oh, you're just miserable. Change the way you think. Look at the glass half full instead of half empty. I got some interesting quotes here. Albert Einstein says, weakness of attitude becomes weakness of character. Weakness of attitude becomes weakness. Character is who we are. Character is